Good morning, students. So, I hope everyone is fine out there. We are going to start with a new chapter that is types of crops. I have already mentioned the chapter name out here. So, let us see what is there in this chapter. In this chapter, basically, what has been discussed here is like what are the different categories of this crops that can be grown in India, whether it can be a cash crops or whether it can be a food crops or plantation crops. So in this chapter these things have been mentioned. So let us see what is major crops. Agriculture plays a vital role in the Indian economy. It is the backbone of our country. It includes farming of crops, animal husbandry, agroforestry, etc. So, agriculture is said to be the moral or the it plays a very important role in the Indian economy. Why it plays a very important role in the Indian economy is because to develop this Indian economy, agriculture was the first practice that was been done. So till date, so till recent times also we can see that agriculture is said to be the backbone of the Indian economy. And over 58% of rural household primarily depends on agriculture. So you can imagine that 58% of the people, rural people, are totally depend upon this agriculture. They still practice this agriculture as one of the primary sector for them to earn their or to run their families. Agriculture, along with fisheries, forestry, and other sectors, contribute around 14% of all over GDP of our country. So agriculture, along with this agriculture, this fisheries also and other this other sectors also contributes about 14% over 14% of GDP is been run aside, keeping aside this agriculture. So you know that agriculture plays a very important role in the Indian economy, and keeping aside this agriculture, even fisheries also contributes. Even fisheries also contributes towards the Indian economy, and this fisheries and other sectors, got it, in other sectors also this 14% of GDP is been carried out in our country. In the decade between 2003 to and 2013, India's agricultural export almost grew eightfold. So you can see in the period of 2003 and 2013, in this period of time you can see that the increase of this agricultural export, got it, increase of this agricultural export has been increased up to eightfold. So you can see that during this period, that is 2003 and 2011, when the comparison was done, in this two period of year you can see that the increase in this agricultural export has been increased in such a way that it has reached up to eightfold. There are three categories of agricultural crops grown in India, that is food crops, cash crops, and plantation crops. So before starting with the chapter, I have mentioned that in this chapter, the types of crops, there are on three categories that has been mentioned out here, that is food crops, cash crops, and plantation crops. So these are the three categories of the agricultural grown crops in India. So there are different categories, got it, there are different categories which has been named here is like food crops, cash crops, and plantation crops. Food crops are plant grown for human to eat. Cash crops are plants grown to be sold for profit? India is the top producer of many crops. Food crops includes rice, wheat, maize, millets and pulses. Cash crops includes cotton, jute, sugarcane, tobacco and soil seeds. And plantation crops includes tea, coffee, coconut and rubber. So you can see that what is food crops? Food crops are those crops which is been grown for the human to eat. Got it? It is basically grown for the humans to eat. Cash crops are those plant crops that has been grown to sold for the market for the profit. Got it? So these are the differences. These are the two differences that has been mentioned here. Is like food crops is basically for their own use only, for their daily uses only. They prefer to do the cultivation. Got it? And in the cash crops, they always grow in a large quantity so that it can be sold to the market for the profit. And in fruit crops, what are the things that includes? In food crops, it has been mentioned that rice, wheat, maize, millets and pulses are to be grown. In cash crops, you can see that cotton, jute, sugarcane, these are the things that have been grown. And in plantation crops, you can see that tea, coffee, coconut and rubber, these are the different crops that has been grown. So let us see what is in this food crops. What are the things or what are the crops that has been discussed in the book? So in this food crops, first thing that has been mentioned here is like rice. You know what is rice, right? Rice is a tropical crop that can be grown almost throughout the year. It depends on atmospheric moisture and rainfall for irrigation. India is the second largest producer of rice in the world. India has India has the largest area in world under rice cultivation. It grows well in alluvial soil with clay subsoil. It is grown in terrace and hilly areas. The traditional rice fields are known as paddy fields and requires to be flooded with 10 to 12 centimeter deep water in the early stage. Rice is produced in almost all states. So when we talk about rice, got it? Rice is basically said to grow almost every year. So there are how many months? There are 12 months, right? So in this 12 months, you can see this 12 months whole year, you can see the cultivation of rice can be taken place. But it is totally, this rice cultivation is totally depend upon the atmospheric moisture and even the rainfall for the irrigation facilities. And India is said to be the second largest second India is said to be the second largest producer of rice in the world. Why? Because India's area in the world is totally depend. They have totally used that land for the rice cultivation. Got it? And the traditional field, got it, the traditional rice field is known as paddy field. Got it? And it requires about how many depth water, what can be the 10 to 12 centimeter of deep water is required for the cultivation of this rice. And rice is produced almost in every part of the state. Got it? Other rice growing states includes Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Karnataka, Assam, and Maharashtra. So these are the different names that has been mentioned here with the growing of this rice. So next can be, what can be the next topic? So next topic for this food crops is wheat. So let us see what is there in this wheat. Wheat is said to be the second important crops of India after rice. It is a staple food in north and northeast western India. Ideal temperature for wheat cultivation is between 10 to 15 degrees Celsius or at the time of showing, and 21 to 26 degrees Celsius at the time of harvesting. So the wheat crop is highly mechanization oriented and may need less labors. Top three states producing wheat are Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, and Haryana. So this wheat is said to be the second. It is said to be the second important. It is said to be the second important crop after. This comes after. It is basically rice was the first, right? Rice is basically followed by wheat, and wheat is said to be the second important crops, and it is also a staple food in north and northwestern India. And the ideal temperature, when we talk about the temperature, how much it requires for this wheat cultivation is about 10 to 15 degrees Celsius. Got it? In the time of showing. And 21 to 26 degree Celsius is required when the time is of harvesting. And this wheat crop is highly mechanization oriented, means like less labor is required. Got it? It requires very less labor. And when we talk about the top three states where this wheat cultivation is done, and this three important top three states are Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, and Haryana. Got it? Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, and Haryana. These are the top three states where the cultivation of wheat is basically done. Next comes the millets. So, millets, coarse food grains like jowar, bajra, and ragi are called millets. The area under these crops have fallen drastically in recent year in India. Top three states with maximum production of total coarse cereal are Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Rajasthan. Johar grows well in Maharashtra. Maharashtra and Rajasthan are the largest producer of Vajra. Ragi is mainly grown in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. So this millets, got it? This millets, in the recent time, we can see that it is very less in the cultivation. They have drastically fallen in this few years. In the recent years, you can see that the cultivation of this millets has been totally reduced as compared to the last few years. You can see that there was a increase in the cultivation of this millets, but like in the recent period of time, you can see that it has been totally reduced. Got it? And in this millets, what are the things that comes are like Johar, Vajra, and Ragi. So Johar, Vajra, and Ragi, they do not cultivate in the same states. They are cultivated in the different states. So when we talk about the millets, when we talk about the entire millet crops that are basically grown in the three states, got it? And those three states are Maharashtra, Karnataka and Rajasthan. Got it? In these three states, you can see that a large quantity of millets are to be cultivated. And Johar, when we talk about Johar are basically well cultivated or well grown in Maharashtra. And Maharashtra and this Rajasthan is very much, they are said to be the largest producer of Vajra. Got it? Maharashtra and Rajasthan are to be said to be the largest producer of this Vajra, and Ragi is basically grown in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. So next comes the cash crops. Let us see what have been included in this cash crops. So you can see this in this cash crops, there are different crops that can be cultivated. First comes the cotton. First comes the cotton. Let us see what is basically discussed in this cotton. Cotton is the most important fiber crops. Cotton seeds is used as a vegetable oil and as a part of folder for better milk production. Cotton grows in tropical and subtropical areas. Cotton requires moderate rainfall, and in India, it is one of the predominant rain-feed crops. Cotton requires uniformly high temperature, that is about 21 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius. It grows in areas having at least 210 frost free days in a year. So this cotton, got it? In this cotton is said to be the most important fiber crops. Got it? It is said to be one of the most important fiber crops. And cotton seeds are also used to make a vegetable oil and is also used for the better milk productions also. And this cottons are basically grown in the tropical and subtropical areas, and it requires moderate type of rainfall. And this cotton requires uniformly very high temperature. The temperature has to be very high. That is why in some of the parts only you can see the cotton cultivation that can be done, where the tropical and the subtropical areas. And this high temperature is between 21 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius. It also grows well in alluvial soil of the Satluj Ganga plains and in red and laterite soil in the peninsular regions. Cotton growing requires less mechanized farms in India as it needs cheap labor. Main cotton producing states are Gujarat, Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh. So this cotton is also being grown. Got it? It is very much well cultivated in the alluvial soil of Satluj Ganga plains. Got it? And in red soil, laterite soil, which is there in the peninsular regions. And cotton requires less mechanized farms. Got it? It requires a very less machinery things, and even they need a very cheap labors also. And when we talk about the major states or the main states producing this cotton producing states are Gujarat, Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh. So these are the main cotton producing states, that is Gujarat, Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh. Next comes the jute. So jute is also called the golden fiber. Jute is a tropical plant that requires hot and humid climate. It is one of the most important natural fiber in terms of cultivation and usage. Almost 85% of the world's jute is cultivated in the Ganga deltas. It is a soil exhausting crop and ideally suited for the delta and flood plains as flood renew the soil annually. West Bengal is said to be the largest jute producing states, followed by Assam, Odisha, and Bihar. So good. This jute is also known as golden. This is also known as golden fiber. Jute is also known as the golden fiber, and it requires a very hot and humid temperature, or the climate has to be very hot and humid. It is said to be one of the very important natural fiber that has been cultivated, and it requires almost 85% of the world jute cultivation is been taken place in the Ganga deltas. Why? Because it is very much suited in the places where the floods or floodplains are to be occurred. And where the floods are to be occurred, naturally what happens is, like when the floods are occurred, the flood, it renews the soil. Got it? It renews the soil annually. And West Bengal is said to be the largest producing of jute. Got it? West Bengal is said to be the largest producer of this jute, and it has been followed up by Assam, Odisha, and Bihar. This West Bengal is said to be the largest producer of jute, which has been followed after Assam. Got it? It has been followed by Assam, Odisha, and Bihar. These four states contribute 98% of jute production in the country. India is the largest producer of jute in the world, followed by Bangladesh. So these four states, let me write the name of the states out here. Which are the four states? That is West Bengal, right? West Bengal is followed by Assam. Then it is Odisha. Odisha and Bihar. So these four states plays a very important role, or the major cultivation of jute is basically done in this four states. And this four states contributes about how many percent? It covers about 89% of cultivation is done. Got it? And that is why India is said to be the largest producer of jute, followed by Bangladesh. So next, cash crops, that is sugarcane. So the sugarcane belongs to the bamboo family of plants and is indigenous to South Asia. It is a plantation crop that grows properly in high temperature, that is 21 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius. High humidity rainfall, that is about 75 centimeter to 150 centimeter, and a long growing season takes 15 to 18 months to mature. The alluvial soil rich in calcium are ideal. It is a labor intensive crops, as most of the work is done manually. It grows as large joined sticks measuring 2 meters to 6 meters in height. It is for it is from it it is from these tracks that gross sugarcane juice is obtained for making sugar. So this sugarcane is basically bamboo family. This belongs to bamboo family. Got it? It belongs to bamboo family. And it is also said to be that whenever the cultivation of this sugarcane has been taken place, the temperature has to be very high. When we talk about the temperature, it requires a temperature of 21 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius. And the rainfall also it requires in a very large number. Got it? The humidity, high humidity is also required, and the temperature. And when we talk about rainfall, the rainfall, how much it requires? It requires of about 75 centimeter to 150 centimeter. Got it? The temperature also requires 75 to 150 this centimeter. And when we talk about temperature, the temperature how much it requires is 21 degrees Celsius to 27 degrees Celsius. And when the sugarcane is totally matured, how many months it takes to get matured? The month, how much it requires is like, to get matured, it requires 15 to 18 months. 15 to 18 months to be matured. Got it? So this much of month has been required to be sugarcane in a matured form, and it can be used. And the soil, what kind of soil it requires is the alluvial soil, which is very rich in calcium. Got it? And here sugarcane is basically done by the laborers. Got it? Manual work is there in a very large number, so that is why large number of laborers are also required. Got it? It requires large number of laborers. Why it requires a large number of laborers is because basically the work is done manually. Is by yourself, you have to do the work, not through, you are not totally depend of the machines. So the height of the sugarcane, when we talk about height, it has to be of 2 meter to 6 meter of height. Got it? It requires 2 to 6 meter of height. And India is said to be the second largest producer of this sugarcane in the world after Brazil. So India is said to be the second largest producer of sugarcane after Brazil. And not just Brazil, the other states also within the India, there are other states where the sugarcane has been cultivated, is like Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Bihar, this Hyderabad and Punjab. So these are the different, Haryana and Punjab. So these are the different places where the cultivation of this sugarcane is also been taken place. So last comes the plantation crops. So what are the plantation crops? I've already given you the categories. What are the crops? Which are the crops that comes under which category? So when we talk about plantation crop, when we talk about this plantation crops, so plantation crops, tea is said to be one of the plantation. Tea is a beverage and a plantation crop. India is the largest producer and consumer of black tea in the world. Tea is grown in 16 states in India. Assam, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu and Kerala accounts about 95% of the total tea production. It is well drained, gloomy. It is grown in well drained, gloomy soil. It requires fairly high temperature and heavy rainfall, well distributed over the year. It requires a hill slopes. It requires a hill slopes for the crops. It requires a hill slopes, and it also requires a manual labors. So this comes under the plantation crops, right? So this tea is said to be one. It is a beverage, and it is a plantation crops. And this India is said to be the largest producer and even the consumer of black tea in the world. Tea is grown in 16 states. Got it? Tea is